Airman Cave Archives! Knowing and doing are two different things.
I will keep your secrets. Just think of me as the pages in your diary.
Hey, welcome back to Airman Cave Archives. Tonight, I thought we'd talk about a salute and a diary. Now, first up is the salute. I actually used to be a recruiter for a while for the Air Force, and one of the guys that I put in, James Coward, but Airman First Class James Coward, I put into the Air Force. Well, I get a text from him, and he says, "Hey, Sergeant Nelson, just wanted to touch base. I'm getting ready to get commissioned as an officer." But the best part was, he asked if I would be his first salute as an officer. So of course I couldn't turn him down. Now I had to throw on the old uniform, service dress, and put my little retire pin on and went and met him at the ceremony. I got to meet his wife and mom and dad again. But they called him up and he got his commissioning ceremony piece done. And then they called me up to do the first salute. So pop the salute, in my hand he plops I don't know if you can see that, a silver dollar. That's the tradition or customary for the first salute from an officer to be coined a silver dollar. I'm really proud of him, and I think that's a huge accomplishment in his life, and just great to be able to see him move on to the next level. Now, keeping it in the family, whenever my grandfather passed away, my Aunt Wanda got a lot of his military memorabilia. One of the things in particular was a diary. Now, this is the actual diary itself, and she gave it to me because, obviously being military, she thought it would be something that I would appreciate. But the cool thing was, after reading through the diary for a while, my Grandpa Cotton started to complain about the Army Air Corps. Well, this blew my mind. For those that don't know, the Army Air Corps was an early part of the Air Force's history. And so I go to my family and say, "Hey, guys, Grandpa Cotton was in the Air Force." And I'm like, no, he was Army. Got it, but if you read the diary and look at a lot of the bases, it talked about Keesler Airfield and a bunch of these different locations that are now Air Force locations or bases, and he complains about having to go to these wingdings and stuff. That's the Air Force. So for me, being an Air Force guy, it was just awesome to read some of these different stories about what he went through in the different fields that he had to go to. And it was neat because of Keesler Airfield, that's where I actually went for one of my tech schools. But the funny thing is, he's complaining about all these different things, but at one point he talks about he really likes the fried chicken and ate a lot of mashed potatoes and things at one of the bases. So for me, I thought it was really awesome to be able to have that connection to him, not only to hear the stories in his words, but also to find out that he was, in a sense, Air Force. So, well, now that you know about Airman Coward or Lieutenant Coward and Grandpa Cotton's diary, look around, see if you can't find some things that might bring up some interesting conversation points for you and your family. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Airman Cave Archives! Knowing and doing are two different things.